Imagine a world where lobsters crawl across shimmering satin gowns, gloves sprout fingernails, hat like a hand, and hats bloom like exotic flowers, and insects step into the surrealistic realm of Elsa Schiaparelli, a revolutionary fashion designer who blurred the lines between reality and dreams, art and clothing. In a landscape dominated by Coco Chanel and reigned supreme with her timeless elegance, Schiaparelli emerged as a very unique, bizarre artist, weaving the idea of surrealism into everyday attire. Her designs were more than just clothing. They were mind-bending experiences, flamboyant expressions of individuality, and audacious challenges to the status quo, thus altering the course of fashion history forever. In our past videos, we saw about Cristobal Balenciaga and Coco Chanel, who are from poor family. In this case, Elsa Schiaparelli was born in a palace in Rome into a very affluent, wealthy aristocrat family. Elsa was exposed to art, literature, and creativity from the day she was born. As her father was an accomplished scholar in the Islamic culture of Middle Ages and Sanskrit, her brother was an astronomer, and her cousin was an Egyptologist who discovered the tomb of Nefertari. Even though her family members expanded her scope of imagination, which was extremely helpful in her future life, Elsa didn't like her family style, as her family was very conservative. When she became old enough to live on her own at the age of 20, her friend asked Elsa to look after the orphan children in an English country home in London. Eventually, she moved to London, but it was short-lived, as she didn't like the place, but it marked a turning point in her life. It was a testament to her independent spirit, a quality that would later manifest in her revolutionary approach to fashion. Few years later, Elsa fell in love with a man named Wilhelm, who was a con man who claimed to have psychic powers and numerous academic credentials. As Elsa, being fascinated by psychic phenomena, soon married and had a child with him, but 10 years later, their marriage fell apart. After the end of World War I, a new movement called surrealism was spreading rapidly within the thinkers, designers, and artists of Paris. But, first of all, what is surrealism? Surrealism is the principles, ideals, or practice of producing fantastic or incongruous imagery or effects in art, literature, film, or theater by means of unnatural or irrational juxtapositions and combinations. The trauma of World War I had shattered societal norms, and artists yearned to break free from the constraints of tradition and aimed to allow the unconscious mind to express itself. When Elsa came across this ideology, she was so amazed that she adopted surrealism very quickly. Soon she formed close relationships with key figures of the surrealist movement, such as Salvador Dalí, Jean Cocteau, and Man Ray, from whose art she drew inspiration for her designs. She began to translate the bizarre dreamscapes and illogical juxtapositions of surrealism into tangible garments. She established her own fashion house in Paris in the year 1927. One of her earliest ventures into this surreal territory was the skeleton dress, a knitted garment featuring a ribcage printed on the front. This seemingly morbid design, inspired by a print by Jean Cocteau, it sparked a conversation, a playful nudge at societal expectations of feminine attire. The sweater was a sensation, worn by celebrities and artists alike, and cemented Schiaparelli's reputation as a fashion iconist. Her bold experimentation continued with the lobster dress, a shocking pink creation, adorned with a meticulously embroidered lobster, seemingly poised to pinch its way across the wearer's hip. This outrageous design, inspired by a Salvador Dalí sketch, was not just a dress, it was a manifesto. Wallis Simpson, Duchess of Windsor, wore the famous lobster dress for her honeymoon. It defied the prevailing notions of what was considered tasteful in fashion, embracing the absurd and challenging the status quo. Schiaparelli's creations went beyond mere clothing. They were wearable sculptures, conversation starters, and even social commentary. Her shoe hat, a hat shaped like a high heel, not only defied logic, but also poked fun at the rigid social expectations placed upon women. Her tears dress, which looks like the skin is slightly ripped off, shows a poignant commentary on the political and social unrest of the time. To be more specific, it's due to the Spanish Civil War, which tore the Spanish society wide apart. She often wore statement pieces, such as gloves, with snakeskin fingernails, and was also known for her unusual buttons. She was one of the first designers to use zippers in her designs, which allowed for more flexibility and movement in clothing. One of Schiaparelli's most enduring legacies is her mastery of the shocking pink hue, a vibrant shade that became synonymous with her brand. This bold color choice defied traditional notions of femininity and added a rebellious edge to her designs. Whether it was a sleek evening gown or a tailored suit, Schiaparelli's creations exuded confidence, individuality, and a sense of excitement about life. Elsa was not only great at making clothes, but also extremely great in making jewels. Just like her garments, her jewelry drew inspiration heavily from surrealism. Think unexpected shapes, illogical juxtapositions, and a playful disregard for traditional forms. Imagine brooches shaped like lobsters or lips, earrings resembling eyeballs, or necklaces featuring insects. This fusion of fashion and art resulted in truly unique and unforgettable jewelry designs. Even after her death, till now, the designers of the House of Schiaparelli still keeps her surrealistic ideas alive. There are iconic jewelry art pieces like the brass necklace in the shape of branched lungs worn by Bella Hadid, floral gold necklace worn by Hunter Schafer, and so many other marvelous jewelry art pieces. Schiaparelli's reign as the queen of surrealist fashion wasn't without its challenges. The outbreak of World War II forced her to close her Parisian boutique and relocate to the United States. However, even in exile, her impact continued to be felt. After the war, Schiaparelli returned to Paris, but found herself struggling to reclaim her former dominance. As she found herself against big, powerful titans like Christian Dior, Cristobal Balenciaga, and Coco Chanel, who were on the peak of their career. The fashion landscape had shifted drastically, and the tide was turning towards a more conservative aesthetic. However, her legacy remained firmly established. She had revolutionized fashion not just through her designs, but by demonstrating its potential as a platform for artistic expression and social commentary. So what do you think about Elsa Schiaparelli, the mother of strange fashion? Feel free to share your thoughts on the comments section, and thank you so much for watching.